in Israeli prisons there was always torture. But this is a fact that since Ben Gvir took office, since Ben Gvir took his position as the Minister of Security, definitely the conditions got worse. That's for sure. And especially since the 7th of October. Since the 7th of October 2023, the conditions got very, very worse, much worse than they used to be. The tortures intensified. And my client definitely tells me that it got worse. It got way worse than it was. And you have to understand, on the 7th of October, the IPS, the Israeli Prison Service, the guards, came in the rooms, took everything, took all of the personal belongings, all of the hygiene products, shaving products. They took the mattresses, they took the clothes. My client has the same underwear he wore on the 7th of October, is his only underwear. He doesn't have another underwear. If he needs to wash the underwear, he has to be without underwear. They took everything. So that's what happened on the 7th of October until today. They don't have outings to the yard. They don't see the sunlight, never. They don't go outside, ever. So 24/7 they are in a small cell. It's a cell for 6 people with 6 beds, 6 iron beds with no mattresses, and 12 people live there. So six prisoners sleep on the iron beds, and 6 prisoners sleep on the floor with no mattress, nothing, only on the clothes. He told me he has this IPS shirt. He puts it on the floor. That's his bed. Food, they don't get enough food. Now, the situation today with the food is a little bit better than it was 1 year ago. 1 year ago, there was almost no food at all. I saw my client a year ago, in April 2024, he was like a skeleton from the Holocaust movies. Today, he's still very, very thin. He's very, very thin, but a little bit better than 1 year ago. Now, I have a menu of all of the food that they are getting throughout the week. It's much less than what the IPS told the Supreme Court they are giving the prisoners. So I know they don't get enough food. Other than that, there are beatings and humiliations all the time. Every opportunity, there are beatings and humiliations. Especially it happens when there's a lawyer's visit. Now, you have to understand, these political prisoners, Palestinian political prisoners, don't have any visitations. They didn't see their families in years. They don't have, of course, they don't have TV, they don't have radio, they don't have newspaper. They don't know anything that is going on outside the prison. They don't know anything. Their only connection to the outside world is lawyer's visit. Only connection to the outside world is lawyer's visit. And especially what happens in the lawyer's visit. In the lawyer's visit, they need to take them out of the cells and bring them to another part of the prison where the lawyer's visit happens. This is a room, and the lawyer is on one side of the window and the prisoner on the other side of the window, and we speak on the phone. Now, during this time, what they do is they take him out of his cell at 6 a.m, beat him, rape him, and put him in another room with all of the prisoners that have visitations that same day. They put them there, they handcuff them on the hands and feet and blindfold them. And they leave them there in stress positions on their knees for the entire day, from 6 a.m. until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I see him for 30 minutes, about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock I see him. But the rest of the time he's on his knees in this room. When I see him, they move his handcuffs from the back to the front, so he can hold the phone to talk to me. And they take off his blindfold. I see them when they take off the blindfold. So the rest of the time, except for this 30 minutes with me, is with a blindfold. Because he's with a blindfold, he cannot see which guard is raping him and which guard is beating him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. He just been walked around, beaten and raped, and doesn't know who did it. Now, the judge, I filed a petition about this. The judge told me, the judge made a decision saying she will not discuss the torture and the rape, the beatings and the rape. She will not discuss it. If the prisoner wants, he can file a complaint to the police. In order to file a complaint to the police, you need to know which guard did something. There is no way of knowing which guard does anything. Anyway, I did file a complaint, but the police didn't even answer me. They don't care. In order to investigate this, you need to send the police officers from the unit that investigates prison guards. It's a special unit in the police. They need to send them to the prison. But if they don't even answer me, I don't think they send anyone to the prison.